Hello, I'm Bryony and I'm really pleased to be part of the Inspiring Women's International Women's Day event this year with the theme Choose to Challenge. So I thought I would do a video for you about finding your voice, because finding my voice is something I've both struggled with and found my way with over life, and it ebbs and flows. But I also work with people around this in the coaching space, and as a parent try and encourage and nurture my children to be able to speak up for themselves too, to challenge things in the world as well. And it can be really hard to find our voice sometimes when we feel pulled to challenge something. Sometimes that's confidence, sometimes emotions get in the way, that might be fear, or it might be anger. We might be so angry and ready to say something that actually we need to manage that first. But it's really important that we learn to speak up for ourselves, speak our truth, keep our boundaries with people, but also speak up for other people, speak up for the planet as well. Now, the good news is that we're the only persons getting in our way of speaking up, of finding our voice, which means that difficult as it might be to find our way through it, we can do something about it. And we all have a responsibility to speak up in this world. We all have a responsibility to challenge for ourselves and for each other, the whole of humanity and for the planet. So I'm going to take you through different stages that I work with myself and with other people. If you'd like to, as you go through this video, pause, have a pen and paper. You might want to use this video for something specific, a certain situation in your life, or you might just want to listen to it, watch it, and have it as food for thought. I shall leave that with you. And I'll talk you through the process. So first, we come to awareness. So the first place to start is awareness. By gaining more awareness about ourselves and our reactions and responses to things in life, we create the space for choice. So we start with being curious. Now, curiosity for me is a superpower. Children and animals across the animal kingdom use curiosity to learn the world. And it's something that we continue to need to do until the end of our days. So when we get in those places where we might need to challenge, to stand up and challenge something, or to speak up for ourselves in some way, get curious. Ask yourself, what is going on in you in that moment? Or what is going on in you when you think about that situation? What is your emotional response or reaction to the situation? What's your bodily response or reaction to the situation? If it's fear, what is it you're scared of? Whatever it is that you personally experience in that moment, whatever's happening in you, check in. Where do you feel it? How does it show up in you? And what's the impact on you? It might be chatter in your head. It might be that you feel it somewhere in your body. For me, when I struggle to speak up, when I struggle to challenge things, I tend to get a tight throat and my head goes blank. I start with this belief that I don't actually have the words and I don't know what to say. So that's where we need to start, getting that awareness of what is going on. And we might need to be still to do that. We might need to go through a few of these situations just staying in this place of awareness and curiosity, to get a picture of what's going on, to get to know what's going on. From there, we can connect. By connecting, I mean connecting to ourselves. That's the first stage. Come back to you. Come back to your core, your heart or your gut. Drop down out of your head and into your body. I'm going to ask you to just close your eyes for a moment. For me, I need to put my hand on my heart and my gut to help this. So just take a moment to drop down out of your head to that place where your wisdom lies. Maybe think of a time where you have chosen to challenge, where you've been proud of yourself and that's felt good. Or maybe think of an image, something that represents the strength and simplicity of being able to do that. For me, that would be maybe a seedling pushing up through concrete. Something that's naturally going to follow its path, day by day anyway, through adversity. It might be that there's a tune that does it for you. Then you might have a theme tune for this. So in this space, connect to what's really important to you. In terms of values, what are your must-haves in life? For me, there's playfulness, there's compassion, there's doing what I can in life. And if I come from those places, then I find it easier to find my voice. So what in your core values, your inner compass, would help you find your way to finding your voice? Now you can stay here with your eyes closed if you want, or open them, it's up to you. Because the next place of connecting is connecting to the bigger picture. What is here in this situation of needing to challenge something is more important than you feeling worried about speaking up or feeling afraid that you might stumble over your words. What's that bigger picture that you can impact? And what's the cost of you not speaking up for that? Then, using your awareness and connection, what part of you have you not been acknowledging? What part of you is there in you that is totally capable of speaking up and having this beautiful, strong voice in your way that you need to start acknowledging? Because she's in there, and we get to nurture like a garden. We get to choose which part of ourselves that we want to nurture, which parts to grow. And if you knew you had a voice that needed to be heard in the world, what would you have to say? I'm going to ask you to stay with that and ask yourself again. If you knew that you had a voice that needed to be heard in the world, what would you have to say? That might be something for you to be with, to walk with, to sing, to practice, to write out and journal. But we all have something to say to the world. Sometimes we need to start by just giving it some space, however we do that. Then, the next place is choice. So we all have our own space of self. This place that is just us. We are the only person who has control to choose how to be, what to believe, how to engage with the world, what our actions are. We get to choose. You have a choice about you. You are in control and you are dynamic. As you go through this process of increasing awareness, being curious, connecting to yourself, connecting to the bigger picture, you get to choose how you use all this information. You get to choose how to call forth the many resources you have in you. And you get to choose how to speak up and say your piece. For some of us, it is public speaking. For some of us, it's small conversations. For some of us, in the moment, it's just a drop in the ocean to have those ripples out. It's all important. And other people, it's stopping whatever's going on and really having it out. We're all different. And our voice has to be authentic. It has to be ours. And when we're new to this, or we've gone through something in life that's, quietened our voice somehow, and getting back into it again, it's practice, like learning to run, something I don't do, but it needs some building up. We need to train ourselves and get used to it and step through discomforts and then feel a bit like we might need to shrink back if we've stretched out and said something a bit more than we're used to. But we just need to start with something, just a first step. Just say something and breathe and take it from there. You get to use the space you have created in you through this work to find and strengthen that voice. You might find it useful to do something, I don't know, like for me, before making this video, I had a good dance. I put some rainbow earrings on and, you know, I like approaching things like that. For other people, it might be a picture to remind them. It might be a quote. It might be journaling every day. It might be putting your best, most colourful pants on to go to that meeting where you might need to challenge something. Whatever works for you. And the last thing I'm going to offer you today is to trust yourself. Trusting ourselves is one of the most important gifts we can give ourselves in life. It's a core part of the work that I do with myself as I grow, in the coaching space with others, and with my children as they grow. When we stay connected to ourselves and stay in a state of awareness and a state of curiosity, then it's so much easier to connect to what we want to say, to find our voice, and then to find the words and to say our piece. Your voice is important. Through speaking up, choosing to challenge things, you may well open up a wonderful space of learning for someone or some people. Even whether it's a drop in the ocean, rippling out, or a massive shift, it doesn't matter, it's all worth it, it's all important. And by speaking up, by choosing to challenge, you give permission to other people to find their voice. Together we can speak up to challenge inequality, to challenge inequity and prejudice and ignorance and so much more in the world. We can make this world a more loving and compassionate and fun place to be. We can choose to challenge together.